extremely well, I did something called exhaust training. That's when you train till you're exhausted, and that's when the training actually starts. What it does is it tells your brain, I'm tired, but I can still keep going. So you train your body to learn how to be exhausted and continue on. And that really helped me because I started wearing my opponents down, and I was scoring late in the match and winning these matches. And I ended up winning the Olympic gold medal because of that.
Today I have the privilege of chatting with Mr. Kurt Angle. Kurt is a gold medal Olympian, whooped everybody's ass, got himself the silver or bronze wasn't enough. And in wrestling, they were the heaviest weight division in wrestling, yeah?
I was the second heaviest.
Second heaviest?
It was called the heavyweight division, but there was the super heavyweight division.
Gotcha.
So I was second to the super heavyweight.
What weight class was that? I don't know.
220 pounds.
220.
Yeah, 100 kilograms.
100 kilograms. I'm slightly over 100 kilograms, but getting leaner every week. What year? That's
1996, Atlanta Games.
Atlanta 96. So 220-pound division. I love that story. That when I've learned about you and some of your history, that the grit, determination, perseverance, whatever that's called, or however you think of it, that you injured your neck very badly. You broke your neck.
Yes, I broke my neck. I actually did in the first round of the Olympic trials. It was the U.S. Open. I was in the semis and I got thrown on my head. And I didn't know my neck was broken, so I kept wrestling. My neck was in excruciating pain. My arms went completely numb. And I wrestled through the semis, and I won barely. And I ended up going to the finals later that day. And I wrestled in the finals with my neck broken. I didn't know it. And when I went home, I went to my doctor the next day, and he told me I had 4 broken vertebrae in my neck, and I had 2 discs sticking directly in my spinal cord. And I was risking paralysis. And he said, "You're done wrestling." He said, "You can't do it anymore." And I proved him wrong.
That was 25 years ago, and you had another 20 years of wrestling after that.
Yes, I did. But, what I did is when the doctor told me that, I ended up telling him I was going to get a second opinion. And I went to another doctor, and he said the same exact thing, but he also said something interesting. He said, how long is it until the Olympic trials, the next round? I said, 6 weeks. He said, "I might be able to get you ready by then." I said, "Well, what's your plan, Doc?" And he said, "I'm going to stick you in the neck with a healing agent, a shot today. Hopefully it will help make it heal a little quicker. And what I'm going to do is have a doctor travel with you to the Olympic trials and the Olympic Games, and he's going to stick you with 12 shots of Novocaine in your neck so you can't feel the pain." He said, "So your neck's going to be broken, but you're going to forget it's broken because you won't be able to feel it. But an hour after the match is over, every match that you have, you're going to be in excruciating pain because your neck's going to take a toll." And he was right, but it worked. I won the Olympic trials, and I won the Olympic gold medal with a broken neck.
That's an extraordinary story. That's an extraordinary story. How much effort or how much time did you put in before then to get your skill set, to get your body, your brain, your skills up to par to be that level of an athlete? That's a hell of a journey before then. And I'm sure it's hard to give up or to accept, oh, I made it, but I'm not going to continue, So,
well, you know what? I had a lot of success in college, and that gave me the confidence to go to the next level, which was the world and Olympic team level. And when I got there, the first couple years in 1993 and 94, I wasn't having the success I was expecting. I wasn't making the world team. I kept losing to the same guys over and over again. And I decided to quit in 1994. I decided, why even try? I'm never going to beat these guys, so I might as well just quit. And I quit, but it ate me alive. I kept thinking, what if I would have made the team? I'm never going to know unless I try. So I decided to come back, but the thing was, I came back with a strategy because I wasn't the fastest, the strongest, the most technical, the best, or the smartest wrestler. But what I knew I could be is the most well-conditioned wrestler. And what that means is your conditioning, you amp it up another level where you wear your opponents down to where they get tired, and then you can score on them. And that was my game plan, and it worked extremely well. I did something called exhaust training. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's from the University of Iowa. The head coach of wrestling, Dan Gable, came up with it. And that's when you train till you're exhausted, and that's when the training actually starts. So when you can barely stand, you continue to train through that exhaustion period. And what it does is it tells your brain, I'm tired, but I can still keep going. So you train your body to learn how to be exhausted and continue on. And that really helped me, because I started wearing my opponents down, and I was scoring late in the match and winning these matches. And I ended up winning the Olympic gold medal because of that.
So Dan Gable, this is Gable Grip? Is that what?
yeah, that's Dan Gable, the Gable Grip.
Oh, wow.
But Dan Gable was the most famous wrestler of amateur wrestling. What he did for his Iowa University wrestling team, winning 12 NCAA Division I titles. He was also a world champion, Olympic gold medalist. He was always the biggest name in wrestling, and he still is.
I trained with a lot of fellas from UFC and some other wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys. They're not UFC, but other professional fighters. And the couple things that you mentioned there made me think of that, of there's exhaustion or fatigue factor. So there's a whole strategy that I'm becoming more and more familiar with over time of a smaller opponent wearing you down, and you have to be very careful with your energy conservation in those type of sports. That there's a whole lot of strategy and just pacing yourself and monitoring your energy.
There is, there is a certain point in time where you have to pace yourself. I mean, because nobody can go full tilt, 150% for a certain period of time. It's just impossible. So you have to learn how to conserve your energy and attack when you need to, and not attack, and try to conserve the energy when you can. You're absolutely right.
Early on in my training, my friend Jake Shields, he'd be significantly lighter than me. At that time, probably 90 pounds lighter than me, and you put me in these positions where you kind of beat you, like, yeah, go ahead and pull on my leg for a while, or pull on this or that for a while.
Wear you down.
And you feel like you're winning or that you're making progress, and you might get the thing you're looking for, but you spend so much energy doing it that you don't have energy.
That comes with experience. Jake has a lot of experience. Yeah.
So I've learned to be a lot more, disciplined in my energy conservation.
You're learning, yeah.
Yeah. Probably the best way to learn. But so if I heard you right, you were practicing training in a way that you felt exhausted and probably not able to perform at your peak. You felt exhausted yourself, but you were training yourself to go past that in a way that your competition simply wouldn't be able to do.
I knew they wouldn't be there, and especially internationally. These wrestlers from Russia, Iran, they're incredible wrestlers, but their conditioning is really bad. And because a lot of them smoke, and when you smoke, your lungs, suffer, and you don't have the air capacity that healthy wrestlers do. So this strategy really helped me with not just the United States wrestlers I compete against, but also the international wrestlers.
You get your Olympic gold, you get your hand raised, that universal sign of victory, and somebody got their gold medal, no doubt. And what happens after that? What's next in wrestling? That's about the most prestigious thing that my friend Henry Cejudo has got his gold medal.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to get a gold medal.
Well, you know what? UFC was my next objective. But the problem with that was in 1996, they were barely an organization. And, they offered me a deal. It was their best deal they ever offered anybody, which I thought was pretty horrible at the time. It was a 10-fight deal for $150,000.
Oh, wow.
That's $15,000 a fight. And I was like, okay, for me to get my ass beat and fight these guys, it's going to have to be a little bit more money than that. So I decided not to do it, and I went with the WWE. I wasn't done being an athlete, so I had to do something. And I found the WWE to be very fulfilling. I went in there in 1998, and the thing is, they offered me a contract in 1996. It was a multi-million-dollar deal. And I turned it down. And in 1998, I asked them if that contract still stood. And they said, no, you're going to have to come up and try out. And nothing in my life's ever come easily. So I went up and tried out. But the first day I did it, I picked up on everything so quickly, they signed me to a deal. And there I was in WWE. And I only trained for 7 months. It usually takes an average wrestler 4 to 5 years before they go on TV. Yeah. I did in 7 months, and I was on TV. And my whole rookie year is the best rookie year in anybody's history. I beat The Rock for the World Championship. A half a year later, I beat Stone Cold Steve Austin for the World Championship. I beat the two best, biggest stars in the business my first year and a half in the business. And I became a big star myself, which was crazy.
Well, with the attention you got over the years between your Olympic feats and the tremendous victory there, and then your career in WWE, what other opportunities did that open up in life, or what lessons? Maybe that's the better question: is what lessons did you have about about yourself, or about life, psychology, philosophy? I'm sure you learned a lot of things in that path.
Yeah, I learned a lot of things, but the cool thing about it was I was able to parlay that into movies. I've done about 15 or 16 movies, which is really pretty cool. Unfortunately, I haven't done any lately, and that's because of my bad representation. And not only that, but I also I kind of messed my reputation up quite a bit. I was addicted to painkillers and alcohol, and I had a little run there, a 5-year run where I had 4 DUIs, and I ruined my reputation, everything I worked for, and nobody wanted to work with me. And I've been clean and sober for 10 years now, so I'm now a different person, and now my reputation is back and intact. I'm expected to do more movies, but being in pro wrestling and being able to parlay a character or represent a character and show that you can do some acting can cross over to Hollywood, and it had for me to a certain extent.
Yeah, my buddy Randy Couture, he had started off in wrestling, and he was a military guy. He lived a lot of different lives. He's a military guy.
Man, he's a stud.
He's an amazing fighter. He did I think 6-time champion at UFC, I believe, a couple different weight divisions. And
he did not make the Olympic team, which amazes me, because Randy was such a great Greco-Roman wrestler. And he was on the world team a few times, but he didn't make the Olympic team. Just had a bad tournament that year. But Randy was one of the best wrestlers I've ever been around. He had a lot of success in college. I think he went to the military first, then went to college. He was 27, 28 years old when he was a freshman in college. And he did really well there. He was a 4-time All-American. And you knew Randy was going to be something special in the Olympics. Unfortunately, he didn't make the team. I think he did win a world silver medal in the World Championships, though.
I think he feels okay with his stack of UFC belts. I think he's doing that right.
Yeah. He proved he was the best in the world 6 times.
That guy built businesses after that. So he built Extreme Couture, which is one of the well-respected MMA gyms of the world. He had a clothing line that did extremely well. It was, also called.
He's doing movies
Couture.
too.
Did a lot of movies. That's what made me think about Randy, is the overlap of wrestling and movies. And shout out to Randy as well. But he
love you, Randy.
He spoke at one of my events in 2022, and we know each other for a little while. We have a lot of overlapping friends. I don't do formal speeches with anybody, or I don't ask anybody to. We just have a casual chat, kind of like we are now, and then I let some of my audience, my best clients, ask some questions. And I like that intimate, since you're, kind of no bullshit or non-scripted. I prefer that than. And I think everybody likes that. If I ask a speaker to come, they don't have to do prep work. They can be themselves. And
right.
People want to know who Randy Couture.
Yeah.
People want to meet you. People want to meet the sincere person underneath the, not a scripted something. So I think that's a unique circumstance that I create with some of my friends and guests in the audience, that they appreciate that. But so you said some of the other doors that opened for you. You started getting into some acting and maybe getting back into that. You do anything in business or other areas of?
Yes. I own a supplement company called Physically Fit Nutrition. We have a product called Chicken Snacks and Snack Smart Crispy Protein Bites. One's chicken protein, one's organic plant protein, and they're incredible. We have 11 flavors. They're very high protein, low carbohydrate, very healthy, and the tastes are incredible. We had the flavors, we nailed them, and we're doing pretty well right now. I mean, if you want to try them out, go to physicallyfit.com. You can order yours, and we'll send them to you right away.
That was a great plug. I'm going to reiterate it. Go to physicallyfit.com. Check out Kurt's protein treats. You're imagine a consumer of these things as well. Not only it's like a brand that you've created or that you're involved with, but when we have lunch, you say chicken breasts,
steamed rice.
It's chicken breasts and steamed rice. So you are a guy that it's part of your diet and part of your lifestyle.
It is. It's my lifestyle, and the reason why is I had to start taking care of myself. My body's so banged up. I had knee replacements. I need to take care of these knees so they last the rest of my life. These are my new knees, and I don't want to have to gain any extra weight and put pressure on them. Mm-hmm. So I got myself down to about 210 pounds. I feel a lot better here, so I'm trying to stay this low instead of getting up to 250, 260 like I used to be.
Yep. What's wrong with two?
Well, when you look as good as you, 270 looks good. But if you should have seen me at 260. I was.
Well, I'm not a pro athlete, so I won't look as good as you did. But I'm still going to be. It's my current target. I want to get down to 12% body fat. I'm at 16.
You're at 16. That's not bad. 16 is not bad at all.
16.5.
I'm probably around 10 or 11 right now. So,
yeah. See, you're very lean. So I get 12 in my mind is intermediate target to do in the next few months. And at 10, I'm still going to weigh 258, 260, something like that.
You'll still be up there, but you'll lose some body fat. That's all you will lose if you do it right. You'll just lose the body fat, not the muscle.
Yeah, I'm just trying to shift my diet just a little bit. So, and I'm training hard, so I'm trying to maintain the muscle mass I have, and just burn off. If you can lose a pound a week or 3 pounds a month of fat and still maintain some lean muscle without doing anything too aggressive.
Yeah, that's not too aggressive. It's good.
Quite easy to do that with just a couple little, minor bit of discipline and a couple dietary changes. So I'm chipping away at it, but I think about I'm 43 at the moment, and I've been fortunate that I haven't had a lot of impact on my joints, and I don't have any sign of arthritis at the moment. But I say at the moment because I hope to live another 43 years, so I suspect there has to be some coming later.
You keep doing jiu-jitsu the way you're doing, you're going to have some problems.
Well, my neck is going to be stiffer, I know that. So, I get awful lot of torque on my neck and these front headlocks and various chokes. So we do an awful lot of that, and you learn to defend those. You get tired of getting choked after a while, then you learn.
You have to defend it.
You learn to defend those things.
Nobody wants to get choked out.
The champion interview you just watched is just a tiny teaser from this champion's extended, full-length interview contained inside my comprehensive wealth building foundations course, The 10 Commandments of Wealth. Get inside the 10 Commandments of Wealth, and as a bonus, you get dozens of in-depth interviews with world champions just like this. Leave a comment if you want a business or success question answered, and subscribe for even more winning.